guys, welcome back to School World Gaps. In this video, we are going to discuss periodic tables part 3, which is impure substances. So impure substances are generally mixtures. So what are mixtures? We will see in the next slide. So first of all, what is matter? Matter is anything which has mass. Okay. So in last video, we discussed about pure substances. So what are pure substances? Let's take a quick recap revision. Okay. So pure substances are fixed, means constant composition. They do not have unique properties and contains only one type of particle. Example is given here like copper or NaCl, and it looks like homogeneous mixtures, which is looks throughout the same. And next is impure. So contains at least two physically combined substances and can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. So now let's talk about mixtures. So mixtures are substances which are mixed together in any proportion. This can be 2, 3, anything. So there are two types of mixtures, which are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous. So first let's talk about heterogeneous mixtures. So heterogeneous matters, like they look the same throughout, like they are not distinguishable. So they look same throughout and they are evenly distributed. Properties are also uniform and they can be pure or a mixture. And like example, pure substance only have one type of atom, but in impure it can be two or more. And like example over here given is water. So what is water? H2O, then CO2, NaCl. And a special kind of mixture, solute dissolves and solvent does not dissolving, physically combined and can be physically separated. So we can separate them physically. There are many methods for separating mixtures, we will discuss later in the video. So now let's move to heterogeneous mixtures. So what are heterogeneous mixtures? Heterogeneous mixtures are substances which remain separate in layers when they are mixed. After that also they remain in layers, and we can distinguish that this is the first layer and this is the second layer. Always a mixture. Solution are mixtures that are not heterogeneous. So heterogeneous and homogeneous both are type of matter, and two or more physically combined substance. So it has two or more physically combined substances and that are distinguished. So let's move to next topic. Next slide. So here you can see a quick recap chart. Matter. So first of all, is it uniform throughout? If yes, then it is homogeneous. If no, then heterogeneous. And in yes of homogeneous, second is, can it be separated by physical means? If yes, then it will be a solution. So what is solution? Solution is when a solid dissolves in liquid, which is generally a water. It can be water or any other substance, and product obtained is called solution. So now let's go in deep about homogeneous mixtures. So homogeneous mixtures, a mixture in which the components are evenly distributed among each other. So they are distributed completely. You cannot see the component parts. You can't see the layer. Homogeneous means the same throughout. Okay, so we can't distinguish between the layers, and they are mixed together. Like you can see example downside, salt dissolved in water and sugar dissolved in water. So we can't distinguish that this is salt water or sugar, and we can't see salt and sugar differently. It has constant composition. Like it is not like at the end part it is salt and up part it is water. It is not like that. It is throughoutly its composition is the same. So now let's move to heterogeneous mixtures in deep. So what are solutions, as I told you, but now let's move to heterogeneous mixtures. So heterogeneous mixtures, which is also called suspension of Poliids, we'll discuss next. But what are heterogeneous mixtures? Heterogeneous mixtures are the substance mixtures which remain separate in layers, as it can be small particles, droplets, bubbles. These all are the form of heterogeneous mixture. We can distinguish. So example, we can take oil and water. When we mix oil and water, there are two layers. Oil is upside because its density is low, and water is downside because it has more density. So this type of mixtures are called heterogeneous mixtures. And now let's move to next topic. Next slide. So what are suspensions? So suspensions are related to heterogeneous mixtures. Means when a heterogeneous mixture of insoluble particles of solute. So do you know about solute and solvent? So basically solvent is a liquid, generally water, which allows a solid to dissolve in it. So if we take an example of sugar and water, so sugar is solute and water is solvent. So here in suspension, a heterogeneous mixture of insoluble particles of solute. So if we take sugar, then it is spread throughout a solvent is called suspension. Okay, a mixture that needs to be shaken before use is probably a suspension. Like if we mix two of the substance, but when we use it, we need to shake it to mix them properly. Like here it is given mud or muddy water. So if you have muddy water, then mud will be heavier, so it will sink down. Like in paints, orange juice, all of these fibers will go down. So we need to shake them before their use. Next, next slide. So in these are suspension like coffee are easily filtered to take out tiny solid clumps. So in coffee also some clumps are there. So we can directly filter them with filter paper or then solution are mixtures that have particles that are so small they pass through most filters. So these big particles can be filtered through a filter paper or anything. Next slide. So what are colloids? So colloidal solution or colloids are heterogeneous solution in which the solute particles neither dissolve nor settle down. Means it is not perfectly dissolved nor it is sinking like in suspension. This example include the substances which are like this are non-transparent, uniform, large particles, cloudy like milk. If we add milk and water, then it will be like colloidal solution. It will be not mixed and it will not sink also. So next topic, which will be Tyndall effect. You can see the light beam as it passes through a colloid or suspension. As you can see in this picture, particles scatter the light. They scatter the light over a large area. Next is types of mixtures. So here you can see example, salt water, air and brass. These are the solutions. Colloid is cello, fog or milk. So example of suspension is muddy water and Italian dressing. And particle type, it is given here. See, in solution it can be anions, atoms, molecules. Colloid it can be small clusters, small lump like things. In suspension it will be large clusters. Then particle size in solution will be very small. As you know, if we mix salt to the water, then it will dissolve in it because particles are smaller. Colloid it will be medium and suspension it will be very large. Then scatter light in Tyndall effect, if we talk about, then solution it will be no. Colloid it will be yes, and suspension it will be also yes. Settle while standing. So in solution it will not settle because it is mixed throughout. Colloid also it will not, but in suspension it will. Then separate by filtration. We can't filter solution because it is mixed throughout. Colloid also no, but in suspension we can. So next slide. So thank you for watching this video. Like, share and subscribe School World Gaps. For seeing more videos, you can go in YouTube and search School World Gaps, or we will provide links in the description. Thank you for watching this video.
Also, thank you to slideshare.com for the paper design. Bye bye, like, share, and subscribe School Gaps.